Hey guys, so for today I thought I would tell you guys the story of how I met my husband. So my husband and I have been together since 2005. That is, oh my word, 7 years. And actually April 1st is the day that he proposed to me 5 years ago. Oh my word. Oh my gosh, I'm old. Oh my word. Sorry. So I thought I would go ahead and give you guys the story. So in middle school, my friends and I were boy crazy, and actually my friends were worse than I was. If they see this video, I'm so sorry. But no, we were all boy crazy. But like our group of friends would always become friends with the boys group, and then we would call them, like whenever we were having a sleepover or something, we would call them and they'd be having a sleepover. So then, you know, we would all pass the phone around and things like that. And so that's kind of like a backstory. Okay. So that's kind of like a backstory. Okay, so skip forward to 2005. And I had at this point sworn off dating boys or getting involved with boys at all for at that point a whole year. And you know, I was getting to that point, because even though you kind of swear off guys, you're still a teenager and you still want the attention, and you still kind of, you know, like being liked and I don't know. But I kind of had a crush on this guy that hung out with my best friend's older brother. And I thought he was like this kind of quieter guy out of the group of guys. He was like the quieter one, and and he seemed to like be flirting with me and stuff like that. And I thought he was really cool. But we were at a party one night, and it was like just a party for all of the high school and college kids on the block. And we were at this party, and I recognized that he was going off with this other girl and talking to this other girl. And to me, like, that was one of my big turn-offs. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna be involved with somebody who is like a player. I just wasn't interested. I held myself, you know, I didn't have the greatest self-esteem, but I knew that I was worth more than that. So even though I wasn't looking for a boyfriend or a relationship, I just kind of wasn't interested in carrying on with him anymore. And so that was the same night, actually, that I was walking around at the party and saying hi to people, and I walked up to this guy and I said, "Hi, how are you? You know, are you having a good time?" And whatever, making conversation or trying to make conversation, trying to be nice. And he was like, he looked down on me because he was like 6'6", and he was like, "What are you, like 13? And I looked at him and I said, "Actually, no, I'm 17, thank you very much." And I don't remember if I stayed and talked to him or if like we walked away and played cards or something, but that was my first interaction with him. And that was, I believe that was in like March or April, because it was like very end of March Madness, I believe, for college basketball. And then June came along, and it was his birthday, and he was like, "Yeah, it's my birthday." He was hanging out with my neighbor, and I was hanging out with my neighbor's little sister, who was like 1 year younger than me. So she wasn't younger, but her brother was way older, and so is my husband. Anyways, so the guys were hanging out and we were hanging out, and he was like talking about, "Oh yeah, it's my birthday today, blah blah blah." And I was like, "Oh, can I give you a birthday hug?" And he was like, "Absolutely not." And I thought this guy was like so mean, so rude, and I just was I was like, okay, whatever, I don't care. Moving on, I'm going back to talk to my friends. And so it really surprised me when I don't think it couldn't have been much further after that. I got a phone call in the middle of the night, and I don't think my phone was on, or I didn't answer it, something, and I woke up to a voicemail on my phone, and I listened to it, and it said, "Hi, this is Robert, and I just want to let you know that I'm really into you, and I mean, if you're not really into me, that's fine, just ignore this phone call, act like it never happened, but I just wanted to give it a shot." So my first instinct was, oh my gosh, that's like so funny. And not funny, but like I just kind of like got butterflies really quick. And then I was like, wow, you know. And then I was like, you know what, he was probably hanging out with all those guys, and they probably thought it would be funny to call my phone and leave this silly message. So I didn't really think anything of it. Well, like a week, not even, like a couple days later, I got a note from him saying, you know, what did you think of my phone call? I really think you're like an angel. You're beautiful. I really want to get to know you. You seem like the nicest person, blah, blah, blah. And he put his phone number on there. But we were like all lived on the same block, and we all hung out outside like all summer long, and so I didn't really feel the need to write him back a note, or maybe I did write him a note, I can't remember, but I didn't feel the need to call him because I saw him all the time, and I was just gonna wait till I saw him to talk to him. And I like would talk to him. It was so easy to talk to him. We would be playing like card games out on the porch of our neighbor's house, and we would just get along fine and get to know each other and things like that. But as far as like getting to the point where I was like, yeah, be my boyfriend or let's date, I just wasn't to that point. And I told him, I said, you know, I have a really busy summer coming up. I'm going to be gone every other week pretty much, and it's just not fair to you to have to sit around at home and think about, oh, what is she doing right now? You know, she's out there having fun, or she could be talking to another guy right now, or just whatever would go through your mind in the beginning of a relationship that just isn't really cohesive for having a good relationship. And my point was that it was the last year where I was going to be going to camp and doing all that stuff, so I kind of wanted to have, I didn't want to like go be a floozy and hang out with a bunch of dudes, but I didn't also want to be thinking like falling in love with some guy and only thinking about him instead of focusing on like what was going on at the camps or the trips that I was going on. So I told him that, and he, you know, said, okay, that's fine, we can get to know each other. And actually we, you know, talked on the phone every once in a while. We got along really, really well. We still hung out on the porches of our friends' houses on the block, and it was so easy to talk to him. And at the same time, he would also hang out with the other guys, the older guys, and I say older, but they were like 4 or 5 years older than me. And they would hang out with girls, and there was a girl that would like constantly be by his side and everything, and I was a pretty jealous person. So it was like the second day of band camp, which the first trip I went on that summer was to Florida for a week. Then I came back for a week, and then I had band camp. So it was like 3 weeks after, like it was in my second trip basically. So I was at band camp, and it was only a day camp, so I was coming back at nighttime. And I would be gone all day for band camp, and then I would come home, and he would be hanging out with these dudes, and that chick would be around. And I was like, I confronted him one day on the phone. I was like, you know, you're not really spending that much time trying to get to know me if you're hanging out with that other girl. So I realized now that I was so jealous, and it actually fell perfectly within his plan to make me jealous and to get me to kind of pressure me a little bit into making it official and making it be like we're going steady or whatever. So I said, he's like, well, you know, you don't want me to talk to her? And I said, well, if I asked you not to talk to her, then it'd basically be like I want you for myself, and that would basically be like me saying that, yes, you know, I want you to be my boyfriend, and I don't want you talking to anybody else, and I don't want to claim anybody unless they're my boyfriend. And he was like, oh, well, that's a problem, seeing as you don't want a boyfriend, huh? And I was like, you know what, fine, let's date. And so that's how we started dating. And yeah, it's a funny story now, and I laugh about it, and I don't know, I fell in love with him after that, and I really just from getting to know him and knowing that I was able to be myself around him, and also knowing that he had a relationship with God, and that he had you know, that he had plans for his life, and that he wanted to walk in that path. That was just something that really like attracted me to him, or attracted him to me. Attracted me to him, yes. And so I was like, all right, well, I can give this guy a shot. I could see us being comfortable. He also knew my parents, and so like there was not really an awkwardness about meeting my family or meeting my best friends who I grew up with and who lived on my block. I just had this really, really great comfortability with him, and And now 7 years later, here we are. So that is how I met my husband, and I realized that that was kind of a long video, but I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys tomorrow for my next vlog. Bye!